We are back with video number 2 on my brand new YouTube channel. So if you're new here, thanks so much for stopping by and wanting to learn about some anti-diet approaches to nutrition. Love it. All right. So today's video, we're going to be talking about why I recommend eating every 3 to 4 hours. Typically, you would think that based on all that we see in the wellness world online, that I may be saying we need to go longer between eating, right? But no, that is not what we do here. We're not perpetuating diet culture. Why do I recommend eating every 3 to 4 hours? Several reasons, but eating a balanced meal or snack, which I define a balanced meal or snack as incorporating a carbohydrate source, a protein, and a fat source of some kind. Plus, if you're able to, some sort of produce, some sort of colorful fruit or vegetable every 3 to 4 hours. Doing this will have positive impacts on your mood and energy. But why? So let's talk about it. All right. Number 1, this is going to greatly help with your blood sugar management. And this applies to everyone. When you eat a meal or snack that has carbohydrates in it, your blood sugar levels will naturally go up. When you pair your carbohydrates with protein and fat, this helps your blood sugar not spikes quite so spiky like. Instead of going like this, we're aiming for like this. Adding fiber, high fiber carbs can help with this too. So think our whole grains, our fruits, compared to more processed carbohydrates. That said, if you are having a cookie, can you pair it with something that has protein and fat in it just to help it be more of a satisfying and filling snack? When you go a long time without eating, typically past like 5 hours, but this really depends on the person and what you've eaten that day, you may feel your energy and mood drop. You may feel what we call hungry anger set in. You may feel lightheaded or shaky. And these are all signs that your blood sugar could be dropping. And ideally, we eat before we get to this point to prevent those big highs and the really low lows in our blood sugar levels. So aiming for every 3 to 4 hours can be very helpful for diabetic and pre-diabetic folks, as well as everyone else, to help manage good blood sugar. Balancing your blood sugar is incredibly important for your hormonal health. So if you are working on balancing your menstrual cycles, helping prevent heavy, painful periods, which I've experienced myself, then blood sugar management is a great thing to work on for sure. Number 2, eating at this consistency and focusing on eating these balanced, fulfilling meals. And when I say fulfilling and satisfying, I mean physically, as in we're giving ourselves the macronutrients and micronutrients that we need to physically be well and feel good. We're also emotionally satisfying ourselves by creating meals that have carbohydrates in them. Who doesn't love carbohydrates? That has fat and protein that we really enjoy. If you want to put a cookie on your plate, if you want to put fruit that you really love, put it on there. Make it all vibe, make it a whole thing so that we're eating foods that we love along with foods that hopefully we also do love but contribute to our physical well-being as well. So that's what I mean by satisfying and fulfilling. And for those of you who struggle with binging or intense cravings or obsessive thoughts about food, which I see all the time in my practice, eating every 3 to 4 hours can be very, very helpful. And this may seem like something like completely out of the left field for you, something that you're not comfortable doing yet. And that's okay. I recommend very slowly working up to this. And this is what I do for a job. If you are struggling with that pattern and you're interested in working with somebody, I'm your girl. By eating meals that are balanced enjoyable, and consistently timed, that's a big one, throughout the day, your body can slowly move out of that like, oh my gosh, when is my next meal? I'm so hungry. I would eat anything that was put in front of me. I need to get food into my body. That fight or flight mode that I'm sure some of you are familiar with, into a more relaxed, thoughtful, satisfied, and cared for mode. And this relaxed mode knows that another meal will always be provided, so there's no need to worry. There's no need to kind of get protective about your food and want to make sure that you're getting in what you can while you can. There's none of that like Last Supper mentality that a lot of people experience when they're in that binge and restrict cycle. By eating more often, your body can relax and not have to be thinking about food constantly. And I should say that when I talk about a binge and restrict cycle, this can be out of purposeful restricting from a diet mindset. It could also be from forgetting to eat. I work with a lot of folks who have ADHD and struggle to eat consistently throughout the day. And that can have the same impacts as if you are purposefully not eating. So in those cases, someone might say, well, I don't feel the hunger cues. I don't remember to eat every 3 to 4 hours. It's okay. Start where you are. I would recommend setting a timer on your phone, on your calendar. It's okay to use the tools that you have and try engaging with food every 3 to 4 hours. See how it feels and go from there. All right. Number 3 is making sure that our meals and snacks are filling and satisfying. This will allow us time between our meals, about 3 to 4 hours, as we talked about, give or take. And this time gives our digestive system a chance to kind of clean house. It uses a mechanism called the migrating motor complex, or the MMC. And according to a PubMed article, which I'm happy to link in the caption if you want to see it, the MMC is a cyclic, recurring motility pattern in your gastrointestinal tract that occurs in the stomach and the small bowel during fasting. It is interrupted by feeding. So the MMC is controlled by the enteric nervous system, which is the nervous system that lives in our tummy. That's why we call the stomach the second brain. And the MMC is incredibly important for maintaining good digestive health. It acts as kind of like a little street cleaner in your GI tract, but the caveat is that it cannot work unless you're in a fasted state. Now, I want to be very clear because I do not recommend fasting, but when I say fasted state, I'm not talking about like intermittent fasting or going 10 hours without food. Of course, while you're sleeping, you may be doing that. But the MMC just needs you to go like 90 to 230 minutes without eating so that it can do its job. So that's about 1.5 to almost 4 hours. So if we're not eating satisfying, consistent, full meals, but are instead grazing all day, which, sometimes we do, but sometimes that's a lot more consistent for people, our MMC may not be able to do its job, and thus we have tummy troubles. We have digestive issues. Poor MMC function is common in folks maybe who have IBS diagnoses, or just, maybe you're struggling with bloating or not feeling like your bowel movements are quite up to snuff. Also seen in more proper or established GI disorders, including SIBO or small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. Now, I do want to caveat all of this by saying that if you do graze some days, like on holidays, it's going to happen. You go to a party, whatever. That is okay. I do not practice or preach an all or nothing approach. Rather, just giving you general guidelines so that you can understand the importance of eating frequent, full, satisfying meals on a consistent, regular basis. All right, so those are my top 3 reasons why engaging with food every 3 to 4 hours and trying to make full meals that you enjoy and that satisfy you physically and emotionally every day, every 3 to 4 hours as much as possible. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it was insightful, and I'd love to hear any questions that you have, and I can answer those in the comments.